mean, I kind of feel bad that I called her a whore, but that's a Rhode Island thing. You just say whore because it feels good.
Well, welcome to Rhode Island, bitch. This is how we roll. And I'm really still stuck on the gangster of all of that. Really love this episode. It's a fun one. Let's just get right into it, okay?
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
That was some cultural realness right there. Because that's Rhode Island, bitch. That's how we do it in Rhode Island, apparently. You just call your friends a whore.
You know, I love Rhode Island because, and I don't know if that's what we're seeing on television or is this like really the Rhode Island culture, but if it's anything like what I'm seeing, I think that Alicia is so gangster and
Yes.
and literally so unaffected, and she is who she is. And for her to say this is Rhode Island and get real gangster with it, it resonated with me culturally in a weird kind of way.
With
Just how
California?
people call it out. There's no filter. There's no performative anything. It's just calling it like they see it. And you gotta respect that game.
Yeah.
Love it.
And a lot of people compare it to the Housewives of New Jersey, and I gotta say, that
Mm.
is a Jersey attitude.
Is that a
We're
Jersey attitude? Really?
strangely confrontational. Like,
Okay.
well, I
Okay.
guess when people think New York, honestly, a lot of the most confrontational people I've ever met are from New Jersey. So, well, Dolores being one of them. And another just fun, light thing besides the rosy drama of it all that she caused. Well, not light, but so JoEllen was coming over to Alicia's house, but then it was sad news actually
Mm-hmm.
that we found out that her
Yeah.
father figure, which is her
Yeah.
grandfather, passed away.
Yeah.
But on the bright side of it, she was glad that he was 100. So he
Yeah.
lived a full
Was it
life.
100 or was it 90 something?
She said 100.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
Right?
I mean, that's a long life. So, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's nice to see those real moments pop up on camera. I want to
Yeah.
say also Kelsey's house is insane. And when I saw that house, I was like, okay, the the sugar baby has spoken. You know?
You're like,
I,
"Is this worth it?" I think
yeah,
so.
I can understand. I can understand why it may be hard for her to leave all of that. And um, but also on the other side, to learn that she is actually an accomplished stylist and she sounds like she's actually considering how to monetize her talent, how to get herself out there and promote herself so that she can make a transition if she had to, she says, and air quotes, if
Mhm.
she had to be self-sufficient, she can rely on this. And so I appreciated that. And, I appreciated that she's forward thinking. There will be an expiration date. We all
Definitely.
know this. So at least she's thinking about it. Just get a hair salon while you're at it and get some product with your name on it. Do all of the things. Get all the things
Well,
if that's the road you're going to take.
now she did the show, so she kind of already told us what her little low-key
Yeah.
side hustle is to try to
Yeah.
just in case he kicks her out. That's not what she said, but I'm reading between the lines here, and she just turned 30.
Yes.
So, just saying, we don't know how old Miami girl is, but there's a Miami chick, and he has children that are only 3 years younger than
Yeah, when
Kelsey.
she said that, I was like, "Whoa." But, I like that she's named that she was a hustler. She made it make sense this
Mhm.
episode. Okay, I'm like, when she explained her story, the context was so important to understand why she's basically just chilling. And it sounds like he just kind of recruited her post high school. She
Oh my
named
god, I
right.
know.
She names it she was a hustler from day one. And never had to work because she basically went from high school, from her parents' house into this life of lavish living, and this is all that she's ever known. So it makes sense to me why this might be hard for her to leave. Those
Absolutely.
golden handcuffs are real. Okay, she is living in a golden gilded cage.
In
Okay,
a gilded cage.
legit, legit.
We are like this because when you
Yeah,
said golden handcuffs, my brain pictured a golden gilded cage.
exactly.
It was
Right?
beautiful. So
House is
Kelsey's
insane,
gorgeous.
insane.
She has a housekeeper. She has a hair salon in her home where now she's being smart, and thank goodness
Yeah,
for that because she's doing a influencers' hair on TV, and she knows Ashley has a lot of bachelorette followers or bachelor followers that she's gonna post about.
Right,
So she
right.
is at least trying, and you
Yeah.
gotta give that to her.
And she comes from the pageant world, so that's interesting to me as well.
Yeah.
Um, what I like about Kelsey, and I can see she is definitely someone bringing the drama. She's gonna bring the storyline, and she is not afraid to gossip and tell all the things, but she's good at it.
Yeah.
And she's very unapologetic about it. It doesn't feel like she was producing. So when Kelsey brings the conflict, it doesn't seem produced. She does not mind unapologetically telling what she heard somebody to say, and she doesn't back down. And I appreciate that personality. It lands so well. It doesn't feel like she's ever producing, but Ashley seemed like she was kind of dipping her toe into semi producing. And it was the scene where she was on the boat and she's sitting next to Rosie, and it felt like she was trying to invite conflict by inviting Rosie to share her feelings with herself and Dolores about how she felt about Kelsey. And then all of a sudden Kelsey slides through and we immediately smash cut, and maybe that was the editing, into Kelsey kind of going full in and asking her and pressing her as to why she did not post or socially share in her stories
Yeah.
the work or the makeup artistry or her hairstyle that she had done for her. And to me, I don't know about you, but I didn't feel that Rosie had the responsibility to do that. I mean, unless it was explicitly stated that, hey, if you get your hair done by Kelsey, you do agree to socially post to your stories to promote, and then we do some cross posting, da 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 da, and all the
It's
things. So
awkward.
I was kind of on team Rosie's side on this one.
Oh my god, because I was so team Kelsey on this about the
Yeah,
posting. Okay, because I have a hair when you have your hair person.
right.
So, I have one that can come to my house if
Sure.
I pay her enough. So, I know if she's coming to my house, like, that's further away from where she works,
Yeah,
so it's like, I have to post, you
sure.
know?
But you're that person who's going
Mm.
to, like,
So, you don't think coming to someone's house requires a post?
no, every time I get my hair done, I don't
Oh.
post every time I get my hair done.
If it's like a special, so if my hair girl is at her place and it's 2 o'clock and I have an early day, I'm like, can you get me in for keratin? Then if she says yeah, I post it.
I don't have that kind of relationship with social media per se. So, I mean,
Okay.
if I
Okay.
had a special event, like some events we had a couple weeks back, then I'm gonna post the outfit and obviously the hair is included, right? But
Like if you have a glam team, you'll
right,
post your
if
glam
I do,
team.
yeah, if I do that, but I just don't overpost things like that.
Mhm.
I just
Mhm.
don't. And I know though there have been times where my hairstylist at No Color Lines, Tiffany Haskin, check her out in Tarzana, she's amazing. Um, when she has specifically said, "Hey, Elle, go ahead and post this for me because this hair is fire. Make sure that you post this." And then I will do it if she asks me, but I would
Mhm.
just won't automatically think to do it because my relationship with social media is not to live out loud all the time, you know?
Neither. Oh my god, if anybody went to my personal page, you would see that mine is like the super secretive
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah. I'm living
I
on a lot
didn't
of
even
old
wanna
stuff.
post something for my birthday, but I was like, "I have to." Somebody made
Yeah.
me a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
friend made me this, like, graphic arts thing, so I was like, "Of course, I'm gonna post it," you know? And then my husband and I so that was one thing, but I guess you could go either way with that
Yeah.
argument. Maybe so Ashley truly felt that Rosie should have done it, and it makes her a bad person because she didn't do it, and this is all how different points of view affect our lives, right? Because then Rosie turns out when she hears that, she's like, "What are you, crazy? You're making this big deal out of a post?" So
That was absolutely my takeaway, but at the same time, I could see how Kelsey, up and coming, trying to get herself established, and maybe there's some anxiety about trying to make something for herself where, she wants to get herself out there, but I just, we don't know if that was implied, if it was expected, and I just thought it was really kind of much ado about nothing.
and I wonder if the editing and or producing is making this so impactful? Like,
Yeah.
are they telling Kelsey to exaggerate this hairstyling situation?
It
Possibly,
it
you
felt
know?
very produced. It felt
It
very
could be a
produced.
l a very produced
Yeah.
situation.
And yeah, I was team Rosie on this one, and that's where I stand with that, but I also see what you're saying for sure. I love that Jerry and Liz and a boat named Gypsy.
Ah, I'm glad he gave Gypsy up for
Yeah.
Liz.
And you know what? Don't you think that that confessional or that moment between them was so important? Because for me, it completely demystified and validated the fact that Dino may not have been a romantic interest. It seems to me that she was very hurt that he had not been around due to his fishing excursions
3
2 weeks
weeks?
at a time.
3 weeks out of 4. That means you're, like, in the military coming home with God. I was like, "What, Jerry? Come on, Jerry."
Yeah, that there I because I'm honestly scared of Liz, I wanted to conserve my opinions to myself.
And I am a Liz, so it's all downhill from there,
I'm not
Jerry.
scared of her. I'm not scared of her, but what I will say is that I don't wanna provoke and stole the fires of gossip where there are none, but my immediate visceral thought was, and I'm sure I was probably not alone in my immediate visceral thought was like, "What else are we fishing for? What fish are you fishing for 3 weeks at a time? Like, what husband is away that long?" And how incredibly unfair that is to Liz, that of course I would automatically think, but, I'm glad that the boat is gone. I'm glad that the
Hallelujah.
boat is gone, and maybe they can
Gypsies?
and it did
Aw.
seem like a very sincere romantic moment for them
Yeah.
and an effort to really press the reset button on their relationship.
I think it was so sweet also that he thanked her. He was like, "Thank you so much, like, for all these years," like, it was basically like, "For letting me go fishing," you know?
Mhm,
But he
mhm.
doesn't wanna probably say that on TV, but, like, like, my husband is a cycler,
Right.
so he'll always say, "Thank you for letting me do this,"
Oh,
like,
I
all the
love that.
time.
That's so respectful.
Yeah, real men?
Other thing that I liked about this episode was the fact that JoEllen and Rulla met together away from the girls to have this heart to heart
Mhm,
about Rulla's
mhm.
marital complexity. It's a lot going on in that marriage, and there's nothing going on in that marriage at the same time. JoEllen is standing 10 toes down regarding her opinions and her perspective about Brian's alleged mistress. And at this point in the show, it's still alleged. We don't have any hard proof just yet at this
Facts.
point in a
Mm.
real way. We have a lot of circumstantial evidence, right? And Rula is in this denial despite the fact there are text messages there. She is claiming, and I didn't know that this can happen. I've heard this said, but I have no idea how this works, that the text messages
Mhm,
are fake
mhm.
AI text.
Yes.
And then Joellen goes 10 hands down. Now we got 10 toes down. Now we're 10 hands down. And she's bent over like, nah, Brian is bringing the mistress coffee every morning. And apparently doing this despite claims that Rula has a GPS tracker on her husband. Now, I have a chip, or I guess would be sort of like a GPS tracker on my dogs if they get
Oh, yeah,
lost.
I have one on my dogs. Well,
Right.
we have Find My iPhone, like the app, you
But you're
know?
literally GPS
No,
tracking
no,
your
no, yeah,
husband?
that she went somewhere and bought one.
Okay.
Like, that is a lot.
Now, what's curious about this, and we're trying to figure out up until this point, why is this so important to Joelle? Well, she explains it. It's very triggering for her because she saw her mother in the same situation. And my takeaway at that bar was that Joellen is really, in fact, a girl's girl. Though she goes hard, right? She's not soft and frilly and cutesy and all with it, but she's going to tell you the truth and she's not going to apologize about it. It is what it is. I said what I said. And that's a woman that
Mhm.
you can typically trust. But it
That
made
is true.
it
She
made
will
sense
tell
to
you the truth. She will
yeah,
tell you the truth.
but
But is
let
it her truth or is it the truth? I don't know if he's still cheating.
okay, let's
He
take all of that off the table,
Okay.
text messages, and let's pretend that these text messages or let's just say that these text messages are AI generated. The fact is you have a GPS tracker on your husband,
Yes.
which possibly infers that somewhere deep down inside, you might think that he's out in these streets doing you dirty.
Well, he cheated. So he had a whole affair, and that's not up for debate, you know? Like he really was with the mistress. That's the thing. And that's probably when she got the tracker. But he's saying it's over between the mistress. And I think that's where I think ignorance is bliss, but I'm not calling Rula the word ignorant. I'm just saying that Rula is happier if she doesn't think that Brian is cheating.
Right. But even if he says that the relationship is over, she's still tracking him,
Yeah, because
which
I
means
think
there's no trust.
once you cheat, I
Right.
don't think, yeah.
So let's get into this.
Yeah.
So then we get to I called it the polo lounge. We get to the polo. We get to
Polo
the
event.
polo of it all. And immediately, as soon as he gets there, he gets this phone call that honestly was giving me Joe Judice vibes from New Jersey, the secret phone call with the mistress.
My
But
bitch
apparently
wife.
his mother is sick and has this emergency, and they've got to immediately leave, and he's got to go take his mother. It seems to me that they filmed this where Rula didn't join him at the hospital. He went to the hospital, air quotes for those of you listening, by himself
Hospital.
to go check on her while she was at home. And then he comes back, and then they're back.
And that,
But
sorry, I got so.
someone, and I think it might have been JoEllen, clocked that he came initially to the polo event with his ring on the phone and came back with his ring off. And then he says, yeah, I took it off. It's in the car because I had to put gel in my son's hair.
Could be proven by Rula so easily. Was the GPS tracker at the hospital or not?
True.
But
Us.
this is so sus,
Yeah.
right? You're before, I think it was before, no, it was before they got on the bus. Because when they were on the bus, they FaceTime Rula, remember? To see if she was there or not or at home.
Yeah.
So they got on the bus to go to Polo without Rula and her
Yeah.
husband. So
Yeah.
my weird thing about this is why right before they were about to get on the bus, did he just happen to get that phone call? Like right when they arrived to the meeting place to go on the bus. It's
Because,
like
yeah, he didn't
now
want
you
to.
get a phone call?
Yes, my takeaway is that he didn't wanna be in close corners, and he knew he was gonna be attacked, and there was nowhere to run or nowhere to hide, period. And that was my visceral, and when I say
Mm.
visceral reaction, that's my visceral reaction before I've thought through any context, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's very, very possible. He comes back, and it's clocked that he doesn't have his ring on, which is all kinds of weird.
Weird. Is he that dumb at this? Like,
And then JoEllen has exceeded and taken the crown of the bone collector from Sheree.
oh,
And she is putting on her Nancy Drew hat, and she's coming in Dateline, and she's coming in with receipts and timestamps. She says at 1:15, Brian Rula arrived,
I
and the
know.
call comes through that mom is sick.
I wrote that down
1:58,
too.
Rula calls and claims that she isn't at the hospital with Brian, and he is there with his mother. And to your point, there's a possibility that they have that maybe you're suggesting that there's a little rendezvous there, which means he could be having his relations there, and if the GPS tracker tracks him at the hospital, she has nothing to worry about because he is technically at the hospital, right? So that makes sense.
See,
One
I'm so torn because I'm not saying 100% he was
No,
in the
no, I get it.
hospital,
I get it.
but because I 50% feel like there's a possibility he's doing this.
Oh, yeah.
But
So
another part of me just feels like there's so many inconsistencies with how he's acting for a person that is cheating on his wife. Like,
absolutely. And so then
yeah.
158, Rula calls and claims that she isn't there at the hospital. Brian's with his mother, quote unquote, maybe whatever. And then 159, JoEllen receives a text from the mistress claiming that Brian is trying to hook up with her and meet up with
That
her,
is a weird
and then
coincidence.
later post pictures of them together 2 hours later in the car. And JoEllen recognizes the interior of the car. Now, my first thought was like, well, that picture could be from way back in the day, and then she screenshots it, which makes it with a new timestamp and sends it, and maybe I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm
Yeah.
failing miserably at it.
We're doing our best, Brian.
Yeah, because we're failing miserably at this because at 2:10 they ride back to the polo game. And everything about his demeanor at this point, he's not saying nothing. Everything about his demeanor, from the scratching the nose to the sunglasses and the uncomfortable stance, suggests that he is uncomfortable with this
Yes.
conversation. And I'm wondering if
Yes.
he's uncomfortable with the conversations because JoEllen is onto something and she's not letting go on this. She is literally like a rabid dog with a bone, and she is not letting go with this until it comes out because at the heart of it, I believe JoEllen does not want Rulla to experience what her mom has experienced. So JoEllen makes sense to me right now, and she's like, like I said, a dog with a bone, just not letting go of this because number one, she's seen her mother go through this. Number two,
Mhm.
I'm wondering if the tension that she experiences with Rula is in part that maybe she's looking at her and like, sis, man, respect yourself, and maybe she can't respect the fact that Rula is turning a blind eye. And so it got me to thinking that, what is this psychological journey of a wife that is suspecting infidelity? What is that like? Are there stages of grief? And actually there are, but we're not
Yes.
going to call it stages of grief as much as we're going to call it stages of realization. And there's so
Mhm.
many of them. I mean,
And your own heart is breaking.
right.
You lose, like, a little naivete with, like, every realization,
Yeah. And
honestly.
so here's the thing, when we as fans are watching this in real time, we're going to have a visceral real life reaction to this. We automatically go into protective mode, we're automatically taking sides, and we're automatically like questioning, and many times in a very less than fair objective way, a character like Rula, who is obviously in a very fragile marital relationship, and it looks like he's cheating, and it's really easy to kind of make assumptions about what she should and should not do and where she is. And so I got to thinking, what is that psychological journey that a wife goes through when she's suspecting infidelity? And I know for myself, there were definitely this point where I'm sensing something before I was even able to admit to myself it was happening. And there's several stages, but the one that really resonates for me is that sh- I'm sure she's in the something off stage, which is stage one, where they have this kind of sense of hypervigilance and unease. They know something's off, but they're not really ready to put a name to it, but they just kind of keep going and maybe hoping it goes away. And then stage two is that despite all the evidence, all the preponderance of evidence that your friends, and in this case, JoEllen, Liz, and everybody is bringing you, despite the fact that the Rhode Island streets are talking, there's this rationalization that enters the courtroom, right? That enters the chat where she had
Yep.
internal courtroom where she's rationalizing, despite every piece of evidence, despite all the inconsistencies that not only my friends are seeing, but I'm actually seeing it to myself, my internal dialogue and narrative is going to say, no, that's not really what I'm saying. I'm going to come up with all kinds of excuses as to make what I'm feeling, seeing, and what everybody else is seeing and feeling not true. I'm going to make it so in my mind and keep the keep the fantasy alive. Um, and the hope alive that maybe he's not cheating. And it's almost like this what they call this cognitive dissonance where in its pure form you have two incompatible truths and you're really choosing the less painful one. And in this case, the less painful one is that, but he said he stopped and I have a GPS tracker, so all is good. And then the other part is that she's really in this stage of betrayal blindness, right? This is where the mind goes into protective edit. And because she knows that once she acknowledges that truth, it threatens her sense of survival, it threatens her emotional and financial and family status, it threatens everything. Everything. And these are actually stages that were coined by Dr. Jennifer where she talks about betrayal blindness and how as humans we really work really super hard to suppress any awareness of betrayal because the outcome of it is just too hard to deal with, and I have to think that that's where she is. I have to think that that's where she is right now, and I have to think that deep down inside, she really knows it's off. She really feels probably that he is probably doing these things, but it's just too much to admit, and to admit it would be like, "Oh my god, he duped me again."
It's true. Oh my
It's
god.
sad.
You stated that so perfectly, and I think all of our divorced audience members or going through or have been through, like me and Elle, we've both were divorcees, that hits home. And a lot of the times the stages aren't even linear. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 because you
Yeah.
could be in denial and then you could hit shock and then you could hit anger.
Yes.
And you know what's crazy is the last step is acceptance, but you can accept that it's happening, but then be angry. Like there's not really one right way, you know?
Yeah, and there's so many, theoretical models out there to describe this
There
process, but
are.
at the core of it, it is a relationship between grief and loss.
Mhm.
Um, I'm sorry. At its core, it very much mimics the stages of grief, because
Divorce
divorce
does. Yeah.
divorce and infidelity is the death of a relationship, so it's kind of like the same thing.
Ugh.
It's very much there's very much parity in that, in other words. So, I I walked away from this episode feeling so sad for her,
Yeah, me too.
and even sadder that this is coming out on television, and she
It's
doesn't have the
yeah.
autonomy or the freedom to deal with this in private. Now we're all watching.
And I feel
Pressure.
like that has a lot to do, believe it or not, with her denial. I think the audience, I think it's easy for us as an audience of reality
Mhm,
TV to
mhm.
just take things at face value and
Yeah,
say, well, you're not a strong woman because you didn't leave your husband that cheated on you. But at the end of the day, is a single mom with 3 children better? Like, because that society looks down on single mothers as well.
yeah.
So it's like a pick your poison, pick what people are gonna look down on you for, because it's gonna be one.
Yeah, and I think at some point you have to, if she can, this stage that she's in is this betrayal blindness, right?
Mhm.
And she probably senses that there's betrayal, but she's blind to it. And this is the stage where your friends, and in this case, Joellen, get so frustrated because they're saying to themselves, how can you not see this? But she literally can't see it because there's this cognitive dissonance going on, and she will not allow herself to see it. And so her mind has kind of decided, well, seeing this is going to cost me more than not seeing it. Seeing this is going to cost me, to your point, the status with my family, my friends, financial status. Seeing this is going to cost me optics. Seeing this is and having to confront it is going to cost me um, being judged by families and friends alike in society who might, to your point, may look down on me because I'm a single mother. And
It
I think
happens
at some point
sometimes.
as women, as strong women, you gotta just you gotta just throw your hands up to
Mhm.
people's opinions and live your best life and
Stand in your truth.
choose yourself. This
Yes,
would be the era of choosing thyself, and I
choose
believe in this
yourself.
wholeheartedly. And so even though choosing herself in an ideal world, even though choosing herself may cost her judgment, financial loss, and all of the things, and I believe she can get anything she wants if this is the case.
She's
But even if
stunning.
it might
Yeah.
cost her that, choosing herself in this moment would add years to her life.
Mhm.
It would be a she'd be an instant role model for audiences who are watching and tuning into the show, probably dealing with some of the very same things, and she would be supported, by her friends, so she would not be alone. But it is so hard to get to that stage, and marriage as a status symbol, like, means so much to people. It's literally the death. It's also the death of a marriage, but it's also the death of your identity as a wife. And so
You're
it's a lot to
yeah.
give up. It's a lot to open your eyes to that without experiencing some kind of loss, you know?
And there are so many internal reasons why women don't leave their husbands.
Yeah.
And I just want to imply to the audience again, like implore to you guys,
Yes.
let's not judge. Let's not
Yes.
look down on women who don't leave their husbands because I didn't the first time. When I was married the first time, I didn't leave on the first cheating. I got married after the first cheating, actually. And I'll never forget one of his friends was like, "So you took him back?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Damn." Like just so
Yeah.
much disappointment.
Well, and I think also, just based on what I know about you, you have an incredibly hope and belief about people. And
Oh
sometimes we
my
can have this incredible
God.
hope and belief about people. You're welcome.
I'm a
But
hopeless romantic, and that's
yeah,
part of the problem.
and you put incredible hope and benefit of the doubt in people and thinking that they're going to change. And I'm very much the same way. I think, my mother is very strong in her opinion and, you know, really nudged me to choose myself. Yeah.
It is about how you're raised, I'll tell
Yeah.
you that.
Yeah.
I think Rula, one of 2 things might have happened with her. I think she either saw a perfect marriage and doesn't ever wanna get divorced because she feels like, "Oh my god, my parents were married for 60 years. How
Yeah.
can I start over? It's not gonna be the
Oh, it's scary.
same.
It's
It
scary
won't be
starting
the
over.
fairy tale. It'll never be the perfect fairy tale that her relationship with Brian was in." So I think she doesn't wanna lose that, or her parents were married for so long and the father might have had infidelity, so it could be one or the other.
It could definitely be one or the other. Um, I also wonder if there's what the cultural implications are given that, she's Lebanese and Syrian and he's Italian. And
He's
so
Italian.
what are the cultural mores and values and norms as it relates to marriage? And do you stand by your man? I gotta love that she's standing by her man. I mean, it worked for Tammy Wynette until it didn't. And
I
And her
know.
and her husband loved each other to the death, regardless of it all. Johnny Cash, Rose
Yeah.
Cash, same. I'm bringing up
You're
country folks, I don't know
schooling
why.
us.
But I'm
You're schooling us. I love
I don't
it.
know why I'm bringing up country singers, but there's a litany of women. I mean, look at Beyonce and Jay-Z if you wanna bring it down to the R&B side of life.
Hello.
These are women that stand by
Lemonade.
their granted, Jay-Z and Beyonce are a corporation, but she's still standing by her man and, through it all, and ultimately, she's gotta choose her for her, and if choosing her means that I'm gonna stay in this marriage and I'm going to work
That's
it
the
out, then
thing.
choose that. If choosing her means I've got to leave so that I can be free and start over and I'm worth more than, you know, be playing second best to his mistress, I mean,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you know, then choose that. So, I mean, oh, I can't remember who said it, but I think it was Richie that he said something about mistress etiquette that was just so comical. He said
I know,
he said
that
that
was
there should
so
be he said there should be
true.
better mistress etiquette. There should be
It's
better mistress
true.
etiquette for sure.
Now you know you have to make people sign NDAs, whether you're a celebrity or not, clearly. If
Or
you're
just
a doctor,
or just
you
don't get
better make
married.
her sign.
Or just don't get married. In my hearts of hearts, the visceral
Well,
part of me, in my hearts of heart, the visceral part of me thinks that he is cheating. That's my personal my my visceral part of me thinks that he's not done.
and I know you guys probably all think I'm crazy, but if I did 100% think he was cheating, I would be like, F him, leave him. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't know.
Yeah. That's my visceral reaction, but apart from that, I'm also looking I'm not concerned about him, I'm more concerned
Yeah,
about her and
her.
just wanted to give some context, and I'm glad you brought up the stages of grief as to why she might be delayed in her response of receiving that this could very really be a possibility. See, she hasn't even acknowledged that this could be a
Mhm.
possibility. She's going straight into denial. He's not
It's
doing it.
denial. Yeah,
There's no way she can skip over that, you know?
I know.
I say, "Oh, yeah," she's stuck in, like, "But he's not cheating, he said he doesn't do it anymore, I have a tracker."
I know. I think There honestly could be, like, a part of her that truly doesn't believe it, too. She really might be that in
Yeah,
denial. Well,
yeah,
maybe she's fighting with her own brain all
yeah.
the time.
It's the internal battle, the internal courtroom.
So she's probably like, "JoEllen, can you just leave me the F alone and let me figure this out?" You know?
Yeah, she's got the prosecutor and she's got the prosecutor and she's got the defense attorney in her brain right now, one on one shoulder, the other on the other, trying to like war it out. But you know, she'll realize it. She'll get there. She'll
She'll
get there.
get
Whatever decision she
there.
makes is the decision that she makes. She's got to make what's good
Exactly.
for her. She's got to choose her no matter what, whatever that is. So yeah, there we go. Another great episode of Rhode Island. Um, so much to so much to uncover and unpack.
There's always so much to unpack, but we can only talk about so much. And it was a doozy, this one. It really made us both, like, go crazy.
A little bit. Hey, real quick. We know we like to leave. Uh, we know we like to end every episode with a quick hot take of what's happening elsewhere in the Bravoverse. Want to give us like the what 2 minute
Absolutely.
recap?
So today was a really big day on Bravo, as I'm sure you've seen around Elle. So first this morning on his radio show, the most like important thing on everybody's minds is Summer House. So Andy Cohen called Summer House's reunion very intense and said the leaked audio, "I'm so mad," quote unquote, because so he was heading for an eye doctor appointment really in the morning. First thing in the morning, Andy finds out there's a Summer House leak. He said he knew it wasn't going to be the cast. And he said thank you to all the Instagram accounts who didn't say that it was the cast because he knew in his heart of hearts that it wasn't. This is number two. Turns out we found out what it was a few hours later. It was apparently, according to Bravo, a member of production. It was a production staff member. So we don't know if it's a producer. We don't know if it's a member of production because that could be anybody under production's umbrella. Number three, Bravo and Cocktails reported today that apparently Jennifer Lawrence, Bravo superfan and Mr. Virgin herself, was the source in letting Bravo find out who leaked the audio, which was a member of production. And apparently Jennifer Lawrence was that person.
You gotta love Jennifer Lawrence.
She got
Um,
involved, girl.
yeah,
She said, "I got this."
she's amazing.
Yes. Thank you, Jen.
You know, the best thing to come out of this is that this is the first time that I've ever seen Andy really take a stand and have an ethical response. I mean, this is the first time where it's just very transparent to me that he's having an ethical response to how this cast went on this reunion and poured their hearts out, gave everything that they had only for it to be leaked, you know, and not have control of that narrative and not have any autonomy of how it was pushed out, you know, how these how they're forget what I said. Anyway, so that was really heartwarming to see for me.
Yeah, and I'm glad
I
they found the source.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the reunion, and I'm definitely proud of how Andy supported the cast in this. I definitely can.
I am too.
Yeah,
And I want to say KJ made an announcement that he wouldn't risk his job. I'm reading directly from his threads.
yeah.
"I wouldn't risk my job by leaking audio of a deeply emotional reunion. The leak wasn't me. As a black man in the public eye, I constantly feel like I'm under a microscope." And then he wrote, "Imagine being blamed for something you didn't do." So
Absolutely. And for those of you who say, why are they bringing race into it? It's a lived
we're
experience. Use
not.
that and let's go on. You know who else
Yeah.
I am proud of though?
Tell me,
Michelle. Michelle
Michelle?
from the Valley.
Oh, Michelle! Yes! Okay, do you
I'm
wanna
trying to
tell
make it make sense.
Ah!
Jesse, Dr. Dre. Jesse, Dr.
Dr.
Dre.
Dre.
Jesse, Dr. Dre.
In terms of money, it's like, Jesse, Dr. Dre.
I'm
Like,
not even
oh,
talking about money because that is like, I mean, he blows everybody out the equation. The guy So funny, I was bumping Dr. Dre yesterday. I was
Congratulations.
listening to Dr. Dre and K. Dot, The Recipe, one of my favorite songs. But
Oh
anyway,
my
but,
god.
Jesse, Dr. Dre, Michelle, you go, girl. That's it.
Yeah. Congratulations, Michelle.
But I will say, if there is any truth to the past allegations that Dr. Dre has had about being possibly, uh, and I'm saying possibly because I haven't dived deep into knowing whether or not he was actually convicted of this, but I know that there is allegation and chatter out there about him being involved in some different situations where he may have been physically abusive. I really hope that as a 61-year-old man, he has moved past that, and I really hope that he elevates this woman because she deserves it. I mean, no wonder she's showing up with a smile on her face with on this season.
Her life is amazing.
Three,
Free beats for life.
3 consecutive episodes. We have not
I
seen her
would
crown
just be
once.
happy for the tone-colored beats. Like, I would do it for some beats. But no, congratulations,
She
Michelle.
got a sea walk on her way to the bed.
She's sipping on gin and juice, enjoying her life. Listen, I can only wish, okay? We can all only wish.
Michelle from the valley
Shout out
knows how to
Michelle.
party.
And another quick shout out. I bet these are two people we never thought we would hear in the same sentence. Angelina Jolie, Giselle Bryant. Because guess what? Both of their daughters are sorority
Yeah, that's sweet.
sisters.
Yeah, that's sweet. They're both AKAs, and
That
let's
was
pick up to the AKAs.
amazing. So
Yes, they are
cute
both
too.
AKAs. Yeah, I
I
love that.
love their daughters. Both of their daughters look so innocent and just so cute. So it was all
Yeah,
good. It was
yeah,
all good Bravo news this week.
yeah, very good Bravo news. So, it is going to be a very exciting week. We've got the conclusion of Summer House, we've got Atlanta tonight,
Mhm.
the Valley
Valley,
next, and then the conclusion of Summer House. So it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and I'm excited.
Beverly Hills, Ladies of London.
Oh,
We've got
yeah.
it. We've got every show you could
Yes.
want recapped.
Yes. Yes,
And
yes,
write in the
yes.
comments if there's another show you'd like us to talk about.
Yeah, or don't,
I
because we're covering too many.
was like, please stop.
No, please do, because, we have 2 that are going away, so we've definitely gotta replace it, and I'm
Good
thinking yeah,
point.
I'm thinking Southern Hospitality,
We're
uh,
at reunion levels now,
yeah, we're at
so
reunion levels for sure.
yeah.
Always a pleasure.
You
Always a pleasure to see
too,
you. Hope you had a
bestie,
wonderful
co-host,
birthday.
sister from another mister.
For sure, for sure. We are doing the thing. I hope you had a wonderful birthday.
I did, thank
Good,
you.
good. Yeah,
Very
celebrating my
kind.
son's birthday. We celebrated yesterday, so but this is today. He's 30
Oh
years
my
old,
god,
so it's
cute.
exciting.
So he's 30 and I'm 40.
I know, you could almost be my daughter.
Literally 10 years older than
If I had you
yourself.
if
Love
I had you
it.
at 17, you could be my daughter.
No, you have to be a young mom because that can't be.
Ah, anyways, all right, guys. Well, we'll see you on the other side. Bye,
Bye,
co-host.
guys. Thank you.
Bye, co-host.
Bye.
Bye.